why we have to go to this family reunion. I won't know anyone there.
I know, baby, but this is your family. You'll be fine. You'll get to see your great-grandmother and your great-great-auntie.
I know. I just hope that I don't feel out of place.
You won't, baby. They will welcome open arms. Trust me.
Okay, Mom, I'll take your word for it.
Hey, Mama Bertha. You remember Rachel, don't you?
Yeah, I remember Rachel. You can be how's school been going for you?
That's pretty alright. I have a history test next week, though. I'm pretty stressed about it, actually.
Well, if you're looking for history, you came to the right place.
Well, we're studying the late 1800s up to about 1920. What do you know about it?
Well, you see my hair gray, so that means I should know a bit. Actually, I know a lot. And you would be surprised about how the role of women changed. Yeah, baby. That was a time when women were only seen as wives, mothers, and maids. They were expected to cook, clean, and take care of their children. They didn't really have the right to do anything than that. Child, our mama was the oldest of 13. All she knew how to do was cook and clean. She didn't have time for school because always having to help her mother with other kids.
13 kids? Please tell me some were adopted.
No, honey. She had them all. That was back before women had access to birth control.
Every child wanted a child.
It wasn't until 1912 that information became available to women.
Well, how did all of that pan out?
Well, we owe our thanks to New York nurse by the name of Margaret Sanger. She was all the woman who had so many children they couldn't take care of them. She wanted women to have control of their bodies and not to experience the tragic miscarriages and amateur abortion that were taking place. So she organized the American Birth Control League and distributed birth control information to doctors, social workers, women clubs, and the scientific community, along with thousands of other women.
Wow, I had no idea birth control was such a privilege.
Yeah, honey, there were a lot of things we can't have and do today that we take for granted. There had to be fought for a long time ago. Nothing that's worth fighting for comes for free.
Yeah, your mama was a fighter. I remember her telling me about the suffrage movement and how she took part in it.
Really, Mama B? I never knew that.
Yeah, honey. She was a member of the National American Women's Suffrage Association. I remember her saying something about Wyoming granting suffrage to women. It was a big deal because they were the first state to do so.
Wait, I'm completely lost. What does suffrage mean?
Suffrage means the right to vote.
Oh, okay. So men could vote, but women couldn't?
Yeah, honey. After Wyoming, it still took another 50 years before Congress passed the 19th Amendment. Do you know what they did?
It gave women the right to vote finally, right?
Yeah, baby, that's right. And before fighting for the right to vote, we women were fighting for the right to get an education.
What do you mean?
Well, colleges, for instance, were made up of largely male population before the Civil War. Very few colleges even admitted women. I think it was 1865 when the first women's college was open. It was called Vassar or something like that. Right, Stacy?
Yeah.
I really think you're right, Bertha. Yeah, it was the first women's college to teach by the same status as the best of men's colleges. Yep, the women's education movement had grown significantly after the opening of Vassar. By 1900s, women had made up 1/3 of the population.
So women weren't able to go to school? I can't believe that.
Yep, sweetie, you are very fortunate.
Yes, baby. Women have come a long way. That ain't even the half of it. Many women weren't even working at the time. Not until after the settlement house movement, the number of women employment increased drastically.
What's the settlement house movement?
It was a movement of dedicated reformers used to build community and residential centers to attack the problems of slums. Yeah, they were college-trained women who took the time and tried to improve the lives of slum dwellers in diverse ways. And these ladies' names, oh man, the name was on the tip of my tongue. Stacy, what was their names? Um, um, Jane Adams? Yeah, Jane Adams, that's it. And the other is,
I think I know it. Is it Ellen Starr?
yeah, there you go, baby. Yeah, that's it.
I remember hearing their names in class.
Their settlement houses were called hull houses. Oh yeah, there was also a lady named Lillian Wall, who also had a settlement house. The program was gradually expanding and it sponsored many of health clinics, art studios, and employment bureaus. Even with all the help they were giving to the slums were growing dramatically and their work was becoming ineffective. So they had to get political support for things like housing, laws, public playgrounds, juvenile courts, prohibiting child labor, and things of that nature. Oh, and Lillian promoted the establishment of the Federal Children's Bureau in 1912.
Oh, I never realized how restricted women were before now. What else, Mama B?
Let me see here. I remember Mama telling me about a farm protest movement. Yeah, she said that there was a lady named Mary Elizabeth Lease. She was one of the leaders in Kansas. What was the saying Mama said that she told Farmer Bertha? Oh, I remember. Raise less corn and more hair. Yep. She was originally from Pennsylvania, but she moved to Kansas. I think to raise her family and teach school. When she failed that farming, she began to study law and became one of the first female lawyers in the state of Kansas. Yeah, she was a strong woman. She began to make public speeches, and she drew crowds when she spoke just by her being confident.
Wow, talking about her reminds me of these women in the 20s called, flappers, I think?
Yeah, these independent women threw away their corsets and wore skirts and dresses that fell above the ankle. They had bob haircuts. And before 1919, skirts were typically worn 6 inches above the ground. By the 1920s, they were at the knees. Yeah, back in this time, this kind of behavior was looked down upon because the behavior basically defied the Victorian expectations of womanly behavior. The name flapper came from a way fashionable women allowed their galoshes, which are shoes, to flap around their ankles.
Wow, they must have had a lot of fun.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun, but it was not always easy for them. They got a lot of negative response for what they were doing. Yeah, do you see how far women have came over the years? It has not always been easy for them.
Yeah, Auntie, I do. I can't believe how things used to be.
I told you they had a lot of knowledge, sweetie.
How do you think you're going to do on that test, sweetheart?
Really well, Mama B. Really well. Thank you. Both of you.
Oh, it's nothing, baby. You're welcome, sweetie. Oh, goodness. Look, where's the time went? Y'all come on in the house and help us with food for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, they were college-trained women who took the time.
Wait. You're turning your puppet. It's like facing this way.
Yeah.
Go.
I ain't hear the little beat for it.
I said go.
Just go. Come on.
I'm recording now. This is all bloopers, and his head is all up in it. Yeah, I told you they had a lot of knowledge.
Oh, really?